And we are live. That's a live look right there at our venue. It is the Bet365 Stadium, and it's Stoke City. It is Rovers, and we will be live. That's later on. Of course, today we are doing the watch along later. But of course, it's the pre-game show where we talk about the game and what's been going on since the international break. So if you are new wherever you are in the world, make sure you smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell, of course. That's the game later on. I've got it. I'm not lying to you. I'm not talking fibs. But we'll get into all of that in just a second. Of course, people shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. Of course, you know who you are. But of course, T-News out there in about 2 minutes' time. But before all that, we're going to preview the show. That's right. I'm going to get all ready and geared up for all of that mess. So give me a second here while I rejig the screens, because I could just show you the Bet365, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do more than that. We're going to preview the game, and we're going to preview it in just 1 second. While I'm doing that, make sure you bang the old subscribe, get your predictions in as well as we look forward to the big one. That is this one. So without further ado, I'm going to do my preview. Hopefully it's all ready. Hopefully producer is all fixed up and ready to go. Just about. We're nearly there, guys. Hang on in there. Where is it? That's what I want. I think I need to move that over. And here we go. There we go. Pre-game coming at you right about now. Let me just scoot that over. It's basically a preview. I've got to keep an eye on the stream. We are expecting a couple of little folks dropping on in there, but let's talk about the game. And hopefully you can hear me. I've got a couple of comments in the house. We need to get behind the lads. Adam, David, we'll get to your predictions shortly, but let's take a look at the game itself then. It is Stoke, it is Rovers, and it is at the Bet365. We just saw a quick glimpse at the Bet365. They're testing the turf. Make sure it's all good and raring to go. We'll keep an eye on that. Of course, this is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Alex O'Neill, the governor. He is in charge of Stoke. Of course, we remember him from his time at Preston. We remember him his time at Sunderland. He did the duty and got them over the line in the end, getting them promoted, I believe. His record against Rovers is pretty stellar. That's, of course, a big worry for me. He's managed against them 9 times, winning 7 of them, losing just the 1 time with a 2.44 points per match ratio. His record against JDT also 100% success rate so far. He's managed against him once and he's won once. So that's a worry. But we need to get those numbers sorted out for Rovers and for JDT. The most valuable player, according to the guys at Transfermarkt, have gone Ben Wilmot as the main man there with 6 million euros. They've got 30 players on their books right here, right now. Have Stoke with a 25.7 average age. The foreign players, they got 20 of them, 20 foreign players, 6 national team players as well across the books. Now let's take a look at some of those players then, shall we? Some familiar names in there and some unfamiliar names. Frank Fielding, former Rover way back when, still knocking on. I think he must be 3rd in line there. They had a goalkeeper, Travers, I think, on loan from Bournemouth earlier in the season. He got recalled. I don't know if that's going to work for us or against us today, and we will see who their starting goalkeeper is shortly. Then into the defence, we've got Kian Jan Hoover, another player from on loan from Liverpool. I think, again, was on loan at Preston, maybe under the likes of Alex Neil as governor. They've got Ben Wilmot on there already. Lyndon Gooch, again, former Sunderland connection, perhaps. Kieran Clark, formerly of Newcastle. Those are some familiar names that we may or may not see today. Into midfield, we've got Ed Edna Stevens, quality player at this level. Then we've got Junior Tishmanu, formerly of Colchester United, a player that we were linked with in the summer. Ben Pearson, again, we know him from his North End days as well. And then we saw some fellow from foreigners that we're not too sure of, but of course they're here to make a name for themselves. Moving forward, DiMargo, Wright Phillips, former youngster at Rovers Academy. And of course, we've got to keep an eye on the likes of Ryan Mammy, Wesley Moraz, Andre Vignal, and Tyrese Campbell. Any one of those guys can score goals at this level, and they've already got a few as well. Look at those stats right here, right now. Vignal's got himself 4 goals. Who else we got in there? That's pretty much it of the ones I've just said. But we know Tyrese Campbell is a player, youngster. He was meant to be the next best thing, but I don't know if injuries or availability has not really come his way. Meanwhile, moving forward, we've got the best players on the books right here, right now for Stoke. We've got Jack Bonham, of course, has come in as goalkeeper. Jacob Brown in those midfield slots. Mark Travers no longer with the club. Siad Haskananovic as well, 7.11 on the old... average player markings there with Luke McNally, Edna Stevens, Daniel Johnson, again, another familiar player from Preston North End days way back when. So kicking on forward, let's take a look at the stats then for Stoke. 6.90 on average for Stoke. They played 16 matches so far, scored 16 goals. They have conceded 18 with 13 assists so far, averaging 1 goal a game. Pretty much bang on the nose. Of course, no penalties thus far. Let's keep it that way. And then, of course, hit the woodwork 3 times so far. Into the defensive stats here, 5 clean sheets for Stoke, conceding 1.1 goals a game on average. But when you look at the stats in a second, you will see a very, very concerning thing for Rovers to digest. And we'll talk about that in about 10 seconds time here. Red card 0 so far for the players at Stoke. Hopefully that will change today. Here we go then. This is what I'm talking about. Last 4 games, 0 goals conceded by Stoke. They've been pretty brilliant at the back. They're pretty tight defensively. They've also gone back-to-back games without scoring a goal. That could also be a concern. Both 1 home game, 1 away game. But pretty much, drawing blanks in the back there. So great stuff for them. Concerning stuff for Rovers. Their resume heading forward into the future here. They take on QPR on Tuesday before we break into the Christmas period. And then, of course, Plymouth Argyle on the road. Back-to-back away games for Stoke before back-to-back home games against Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea City. You would think Stoke could accumulate some points here in these next 4 games. Just hope they don't get any points today. West Brom wait them on the 17th of December. Then we go forward to take a look at Blackburn Rovers. Then, of course, it is the coach. JDT is your man, your myth, your legend. Again, not great record against Stoke so far, but hopefully we can change that very, very soon. He's managed against them just twice, lost both of them. He's also lost 1 match against Alex Neil. Not great start. Tyrese Dolan, the man, is the most expensive player according to Transfermarkt. Causing me a bit of a headache at the moment is Tyrese. Should be signing a new contract, but he hasn't. And he's dragging his feet on this one, and it could be a little bit of a problem for us to swallow later on. So basically, what I'm asking you here, Tyrese, is sign the bloody deal. We saved your ass. You got released from Preston. Come on, boy. Don't do it. Don't screw us over like Diaz. Don't screw us over like Ashley Phillips. Do us a favor. Become the bigger man. Sign the contract. If you want to leave, just let us get some money for you, please. 27 players on the books for Rovers. 23.3 is the average. And they've got 9 foreigners and 4 national team players. Let's take a look at some of those players then. Again, this is mainly for any Stokies watching this a little bit later on. Wildstadt expected to be number 1. Piers getting closer to starting. And then we have a couple of defenders returning from injury. We have Dom Hyam coming, not Dom Hyam, we have Pickering coming back, Hayden Carter expected to be back. And then, of course, the other ones will be a fight between James Hill, Rankin Costello, Scotty Wharton. I think he may or may not be available. We'll see. Into midfield, the likes of Tronstad will probably continue. He's been pretty solid for us. And then, of course, you're looking at Sigurdsson. We're looking at Smolic. Hopefully, of course, he's been our only major goal threat. When I say only, that's a bit of a false nomer there. He has scored a buttload of goals. The goals have been coming from all over the place. He's our main goal threat. That's what I was trying to say. Moving forward, Telalovic could be on the bench. We might see him return. Gallagher not ready yet. Neither is Nalanis. Leonard Also, actually, Ennis may or may not start. I know he played in a game against Preston, got a couple of goals, but he might have injured himself, so he might not be ready. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. Keep it on forward. Then, of course, the goals have been coming from Sammy Smodic, 10 for the calendar for the season so far. Sigson's got 3, Tyrese 2, and then of course the rest of the guys are keeping up the heat there. Then, of course, the most key players for Rovers, 7.51 is your Smodic. James Hill up there with 7.23. Numbers don't lie, guys. So I'm saying these guys must start, and they must start today. Ryan Hedges, of course, had a good start to the season, but has been injured for a good portion of it. Bloxham, of course, only featured sparingly. But of course, kicking on forward then, take a look at the stats then. 6.99 on average for Rovers heading into this game. 16 games played, 24 goals scored, 26 goals conceded, 18 assists, 1.5 goals a game on average for Rovers. Our penalty success rate is pretty shitty. 1 penalty not scored from it. We've hit the woodwork 8 times though, so hopefully we can get a bit more of that. 55.5% possession for Rovers. Just 3 clean sheets all season. That's a worrying stat, of course. Then, of course, we take a look at the red cards. 2 red cards. However, 1 was rescinded. That was Scotty Wharton. The other one, answers on the postcard. Who was the other one? Pickering. Was it Pickering? It could have been Pickering. Pickering got a red. Anyway, this is the resume for Rovers. It's not great. It's a bit of chalk and cheese here from Rovers. We lost our last game. That was pre-international break, 2-1 loss. It was a painful one against Preston North End. Then, of course, prior to that, we did beat Norwich on our last away trip, 3-1 win against Norwich City. Prior to that, 2-0 loss to Chelsea. That's not too bad. Let's take that one on the chin. Of course, before that, though, 1-0 loss to Swansea, 2-1 win against Millwall. Again, hot and cold. Not really, no consistency at the moment. We win one, we lose one, we win one, we lose one. Hopefully, though, we get back to winning today, which appears to be our away form seems to be where it's all at for us at the moment. Of course, and that's also worrying for the next game as Rovers take on bloody Wayne Rooney's Birmingham City, who, as of right now, are still without a win. But of course, they're taking on Sheffield Wednesday today. Hopefully, they'll get the win then. And of course, they'll remove that hoodoo over him. So we can beat them next time around. Then, of course, it's Sheffield Wednesday. Come, just keep looking at the screen here, guys. Next one is Sheffield Wednesday. Then it's Leeds United at home. Then it's Bristol City, of course, at home. So back-to-back home games. And then Southampton, 16th of December. Mark that one down in your calendars. Why should we mark that on your calendars? Well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in All Square at St. Mary's, as long as I get a ticket. But I'll be there, vlogging and everything, live. We won't be able. Hopefully, Pete will be watching and be able to do the watch along for me while I'm in England. Of course, first time in England for a long time, pre-COVID. All that kind of juiciness. Let's take a look then at the recent records between these two sides. Then, of course, the last 6 at the Bet365 have not been great. We've lost 4 of them. We've won 1 of them, and there's been 1 draw. The last game was a bit of a thriller. 3-2 it was. I'll remember this one quite sharply in my brain because I was driving down from Pennsylvania, Georgia that night. It might have been a Friday night or something like that. It was on Sky. 3-0 down. Goodness gracious me. Last minute craziness from Rovers with Diaz and Gallagher getting the goal. Of course, as you can see, we've actually lost 3 on the bounce. Goodness gracious me. It's not a great recent record against Stoke. But if you take a look at the last 3 at the Bet365, or last 6, sorry, we've won 3 and we've lost 3. So a bit of better reading there. And of course, if you play, some patterns, if you look at some patterns here, we lost the last one, we won the previous one, we lost the previous one before that, we won that one. So we do a win. We are due a win if you want to follow some sort of strategy here. Win one, lost one, win one, lost one. We're due a win here. So hopefully we could do that. But the last win was a 1-0 win against Stoke. Rita Kadra with a 1 and only goal. I think it was a goal of the season contender. Was it? Did he mean it? Who knows? Let's take a look at, of course, the recent home form against our away form. Of course, they're unbeaten the last 3 at home. We, of course, just 1 loss the last 4 on the road, winning 3 of the last 4. So it's not too bad stats there for Rovers heading into this. Our last away defeat was against Chelsea. That was in the Cup. Doesn't really count. But the last 3 in the league, we've won them all. So let's hope we can add to our tally there. Take a look at the Stoke strengths against our strengths and all that kind of jazz. They are, of course, good in the air, protecting the lead and stealing the ball from the opposition. Their weaknesses, though, scoring chances, defending set pieces. Their style of play is crosses often, and they come down the right-hand side more often than not. They're very aggressive, but they do rotate their first 11. And we'll take a look at their live, actual first-team 11 in just a second here. Rovers' strengths are counter-attacks down the wings. They prefer to come down the wings things, creating chances, using through balls, coming back from losing positions, creating scoring chances, and protecting the lead. Our weaknesses, though, defending against skillful players, defending against counterattacks, avoiding offside, defending set pieces, defending against long shots, and also scoring something opponents from creating chances. Our style of play is possession-based, short passes, attempting through balls often, and we do have a consistent first 11 when fit. Take a look at, of course, the values of the two squads. Of course, Rovers have just a slight higher valued to that of Stoke, 54.5 compared to 48.63. We have a better e-market value as well. Our average age is much younger. They have more foreigners than us. But we have more youth national players as well. And of course, a quick little visual glance of the form. Stoke unbeaten in the last, 5 there? Rovers just 1 win and 4. Not great. But we'll look at the form table in just a second. The grand picture here is, of course, this. Played each other 20 times in 2008. 11 victories for Stoke. 5 wins for Rovers. 4 draws, of course. Their biggest win was a 3-0 win. They've scored 25 goals in those 20 games. 1.25 goals a game on average for Stoke. Rovers, of course, biggest win for us was a 4-1 win. We got 19 goals scored in 20 games, 0.95 goals a game on average. Of course, we're on 50% form for them for us right now. That's, of course, 1-3 and lost 3 there. Of course, unbeaten the last 5, 67% form for them, of course. And we are slightly above them in the table just by 1 point, and a draw will keep us in that spot. The bookies, though, have Stoke 6-5 for the victory. They are favoured here. Of course, we are 11-5 of the long shots, and 5-2 is the draw. Quick look at what's going on elsewhere in the Championship right here, right now, as we look forward to this game. Yesterday, bit of a surprise, really. Rotherham picking up a 1-1 draw against Leeds, who, of course, remain in third, but, of course, the gap between them and second spot could increase with them playing today. Swansea against Hull City. A lot of games kicking off at 3 today. Leicester City against Watford, that'll be a good one. And then we have Plymouth against Sunderland. Long trip for Sunderland there. Meanwhile, the Brummies, I hope to get their first win under Wayne Rooney. Bristol City against Middlesbrough. Norwich City against QPR. Stoke against Rovers. That's the game of the day. And then we'll be live with a watch-along very, very soon. Preston against Cardiff. We have Huddersfield against Southampton. Millwall against Coventry. And tomorrow, or later today, West Brom against Ipswich. That's a bit of a zinger right here, right now. This is the table as it stands. As you can see, Rovers are in 12th, a win away from going up to, 8th, 9th, something like that. That'll do. That'll do for us right now. Stoke the same, pretty much can go as precise 9th as well. Bit of a gap between ourselves and the players for the time being, but hey, the season doesn't end in November, guys. It does not end in November. Take a look at the journey so far from Rovers. Rovers represented by the blue line here. Started off okay, kind of dipped off very, very bad, down to 20th at one point. Climbed our way back up to around about 10th, dropped back down to 12th over the course of the season so far. Stoke, also a bit of a journey as well. Not really as bad as us, but they did dip further down, maybe 21st spot at one point, but they're on the climb as well, steadying themselves out around about mid-table for the time being. Let's take a look at the form then table. Of course, not too long ago, maybe 2 games ago, we were top of the form table. We've dipped down to 6th now in the form table with Stoke all the way. Where are they? They're actually, when I say all the way, they're only just a couple of spots down. They're down to 8th. Right, so 2 teams who are in okay form, but realistically, Rovers' recent form is pretty woeful, just 1 win in 4. So don't really look at that too much. When I say 1 win in 4, it's 1 win in 4, including the Chelsea game. Take a look at the goal scorers then. The goal scorers coming at you from Sammy Smodic, top man right now, 10 goals so far. Clark Armstrong breathing down his neck with 9, and then the chasing pack as well. Somerville's up there with 7. Well done to him. And then, of course, the most assists, Leif Davis with 7. And then Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Rota, You see it all there. But of course, what about my prediction, folks? What about my prediction? Well, I'm going to go for this one. I'm not really going for this one. I'm sitting on the fence somewhat. I am backing a 1-1 draw here for this game against a tricky Stoke side. Don't get me wrong. Let's not underestimate this here. We can win this game. Oh, yes, we definitely can. But we can also lose this game quite badly. And I think Stoke's recent record of being airtight at the back will prove to be hard for Rovers to break down. I'd love for us to go against that. Some picks in the house. Let's take a little look. We've got Adam Davey rocking a 3-1 win for Rovers. Wow. We've also got Mad Dogs PC with a 2-0 away win as well for Blackburn Rovers again. So you guys believe in the Rovers. I am, of course, sitting on the fence somewhat on this one. Let me just gear up and get out of this. What have I done here? I'm getting ready. I'm just getting ready. Let me get killing the full screen here. So we are getting ready for the big one here, of course, guys. So standing by as well. We're going to have a little look at the team news now before, hopefully, we are joined by at least one members of the Roverseas mafioso. Maybe more. I don't know what's going on anywhere around the world. But let's gear up for this one. Let's have a little look at the team news. If I can bring myself back down here and get the team news. I should have it on the screen. There it is. Okay, there we go. Breaking news. Now, breaking news coming at you with the team news. Of course, I'm going to throw this up there, and we are going to look at the team news. Wow! Okay, let's skip that right now. Here we go. The team news is in, and we have got Welsh step between the sticks. We've got James Hill at the back there. Carter, Wharton, and Pickering make up the back four, I believe. Then we have Tronstadt, Wharton, Adam Wharton. Both Wharton start. Britain, Smodic, Moran, and Dolan. Moran making his first international debut there earlier in the international break. On the bench, though, Sigurdsson's on the bench. Wow, we were Tadalovic on the bench, Leonard on the bench, Markanday on the bench, Travis on the bench. Not bad. Garrett also got to give him a shout out. He's also, not too bad a player as well. So, strong bench if we need to go there, but I think there's no Joe Rankin Costello. He's out for a little bit. Let's take a look at the visitors then. Bonham between the sticks, Hoover, McNally, Rose, Edna Stevens, Pearson, where's the captain's hammer? Berger, he's in there, Johnson, Lettuce, Juno, and Gale. Vignell also on the bench. Both the guys that are put on the thumbnail are on the bench. What is that all about? Meanwhile, Wesley on the bench, Gooch as well. Tyrese Campbell is there. Mammy. Well, they got loaded with strikers, of course, for this game. So So interesting lineups for this one. We are of course just waiting now for any contributions from the Roverseas mafioso, but we've got some picks in the house. Mad Dogs believes in miracles. Let me just get out of that for the time being. So honestly, this it's been not the greatest way to end the international break or head into the international break with a loss against Preston, and of course the resume looking forward for Rovers does look. It looks promising for the first handful of games. Leeds United will be a sticky wicket. This is also a sticky wicket. Let's not underestimate Stoke. They may be beneath us in the table for the time being, but they have got a decent set of players, especially attackers as well. And Alex Neil, his record, as we saw in the preview there, is pretty good against us. Just one loss in 9 matches, 7 victories for himself. Against us. So he likes managing against us, despite all his sugar-coated comments in the press recently, where he's saying they're really good to play against, etc., etc. But let's just take it with a pinch of salt, treat these like no other, and hopefully get a result in the end. So again, surprised by the team news, maybe. Well, not really surprised when you look at the defensive options. Our defensive options are quite limited, with of course Hyam out. Joe Rankin Costello was injured pre-international break. But the days where Sam Gallagher and Hedges, of course, were in the team seem long time ago, of course. But they will be back at some point, hopefully back in time for when I'm visiting. I'll be visiting again. I'm actually planning the trip right now. We are heading to England on middle of December. We're going to be hoping to catch 3 Rovers games while I'm there. I've got to get the tickets, though. But what I can say, of course, the channel's been a little bit helter-skelter of late. But I am trying to do a 30 days of vlogging starting on the 1st of December. So very soon we'll start. So basically do some vlogging here in the USA, here in deepest, darkest Georgia, the state. And then, of course, the traveling part of December will be included. The 2 weeks that we're going to be in England. And then, of course, the returning journey as well. So all of that's going to be put on the channel. Daily vlogs from the 1st of December. I'm also hoping to have a lot of Christmas special stuff for you guys starting on the 1st of December. I have to get my finger out my thumb, or my thumb out my ass, because I haven't done them yet, and I'm behind the times. So that's also going to be happening. So lots of stuff going to be happening for the channel over the course of the next 30, 40 days, something like that. Quick recap of the teams then as we wait. If I don't see anybody soon, I'm gonna ditch these guys because I can't be here hanging on forever. So recap of the Stoke side. They are our visitors. They are our hosts. That's right. Bottom between the sticks. Hoover, McNally, Rose, Stevens, Pearson, Berger, Veris, Juno, And Gale up top, of course. Dwight Gale can score goals. He might be a little bit old in the legs there, but he can score some goals. Kicking on forward, though, let's take a look at the Rovers once again. Wearing the all-black jerseys. Well, I'm yet to get a hold of that one. Hopefully, they'll still be available when I come to town. We've got Wildstadt between the six. James Hill, Carter, Wharton, Pickering, Tronstadt, Adam Wharton in there. Callum Britton playing further forward once again. Of course, Smodic, Moran, and Dolan, that's right. So a bit of a handful, some tricky little players there. Moran, Dolan, hopefully they can be at their very, very best. I think, of course, the major goal threat will be Sammy Smodic, 10 to his name, wearing the captain's armband again. I'm not too sure about his recent record as captain when he has worn the captain's armband, if we won or not. Again, if you are here with me, let me know if he's won any of his previous matches where he's worn the captain's armband. But if I'm going to put my finger on, of course, who's going to score goals? Of course, Smodic will be my number one. Then I might put, if I'm going to have to go for it, I might put a goal for Moran. I think had a great week himself personally on an international level, getting his first cap for the senior team. Of course, those kind of deals and celebrations are fantastic for the youngster, but for a Rovers point of view, it's kind of a little bit tainted because he doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to us. So congrats to him, but unfortunately, he will be wearing the Brighton jersey next season or someone else's jersey next season. We won't be wearing a Rovers jersey. That is pretty much for sure because he's too good a player, just like Harvey Elliott, etc., etc. So, we're gearing up here. Of course, kickoff is what we're looking at around about 35, 36 minutes away, give or take, wherever you are in the world. I'm keeping my eyes open for the Roverseas Mafioso. They should be there somewhere. They've stood me up. They're ghosting me. They're ghosting me right now. But, of course, thankfully, that's the last of the international break till March. Of course, the Euros are shaping up. Again, we'll look to cover a lot of Euro 24 coverage next year as well. I haven't really thought too much about it. It's been a bit, like I said, crazy, moving down to here with new surroundings, new work environments to deal with and navigate. So it's a little bit tricky, but I hope to go full kilt for the Euros and Copa America, of course, come June, July 2024. I'm gonna have to call it here in about. I'll give them 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm axing it. I'm looking at you. I'm staring at you. Of course, they must still be on the international break. They're keeping me in what do you call it? What's the word? Suspenders. Yeah, they're keeping me all waiting. Oh wait. Oh, Peter's here. Peter's here. Go a direct live hit to Pete. He is live.
We're live here, Dirk. We're at the Christmas Village of Philadelphia. I know I'm running late here this morning, Dirk. But it's been a long Thanksgiving week here. We've had our meals, we've had our turkey, but we're ready to go here now. Stoke City, Rovers today, 10 a.m. And yes, it's going to be a tough one. 2 changes today. We've got Pickering, we've got Carter back. Looking forward to them. But we limped into the international break. But can we limp now out of it? We're still a little bit hurting. We know Niall Ennis took a bad hit this week, and he's out for a couple of weeks. He can't seem to get hit. We're struggling there, Dirk. I don't know what we're going to do. And now Stoke City, the Potters, Alex Neil's men, they issued a glass ceiling alert this week, and we know that they are looking to keep their unbeaten form alive here today against the Rovers. But JDT's men making the trip yet again here. I know we can do it here, Dirk. What are we thinking about here so far there in the studio?
Well, you're right there. They are unbeaten in a good bit of form here. 5 games unbeaten, but they haven't scored in 2 of them. So they have failed to score the last 2 games. Kept clean sheets though, so it's proven hard for them to break down. But can they find the back of the net against a makeshift Rovers defense?
Yeah, I think, Dirk, we need to depend on Leo Wallstedt. I know he's been developing, and I know you tout his spaghetti arms there, and you're not sure, but we can get him going. He can put up a fight there today. I think we will be missing Dom Hyam for sure yet again, but with Carter there, he's going to give us a little bit of stability at the back. So hopefully we can pull this one out. I don't think we're going to be, off scoring off to the races there. Sammy Smudge might be looking to do more damage yet again, but the defense has got to hold and keep that, hope alive there for Rovers today down there at Stoke City.
Out there looks pretty frosty as you call the build up for that Christmas market. I saw a lady walk past all masked up. Is it that cold, or is it just the beginning of the freeze in Philly?
Yeah, it's been taking a turn here, Dirk. It was quite mild earlier in the week here in Philly, but yeah, it's definitely got. I was hoping not to wear this coat and show off my jersey here today, but running late, I was not able to get it off. But thankfully so, because it is quite chilly. Not quite as cold as our Iceland trip there, but we are here in Philly here in the winter time, and yes, climate change. I'm not sure about that one, Dirk, because it is quite cold here. So, but yeah, we've got the Christmas tree there. We've got City Hall in our background. We're ready to go today. We might have a couple English visitors at Hilltown Tavern there today, Dirk. There's word on the street that there is going to be a crew there today.
All right. Well, hopefully the crew that are there, they're going to be pro Rovers or they're going to be pro bloody Stoke City.
There's not too many Stoke guys in the house here there today, Dirk. It's going to be pro Rovers, pro JDT, pro Blue and White, pro Philly Rovers. And we'll be looking to get the 3 points here today.
All right, if I could push your scoreline prediction from you, Pete, before we let you go and get yourself warmed up.
Dirk, I'm going to be honest. I know I'm the optimistic guy through in, throughout, each week in, out here with you. But, Dirk, they got to show it. They got to prove it to us here. And I think JDT's men, they're going to take a hankering today. We might be looking at the Brummies game to pick ourselves back up here today. I like the draw, but I think something's going to go wrong here today, unfortunately. So we're taking these trips. We're coming off the break. The Preston game might be a little bit too much for us there, and it might linger a little bit more, and it might take something more. Another awakening call for the Rovers to pick themselves back up again. I'm worried that we're going to be missing Dom Heim too much so, and they're going to find something. I know you said goalless in 2 games there, but it all depends on Leo Wallstedt there, the Swede. If he can come up big for us there, Dirk, I'm going to say 1-0 to the Potters. I know, Dirk, I know.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Pete's gone against the grain. Hopefully he is wrong. I don't know how right you are usually, but hopefully you're wrong today. So I appreciate that, Pete. Any closing comments before we let you run away?
Appreciate the time there, Dirk. Good luck in the studio today. We'll be watching from Hilltown there in Fairmount, but that's it for me here today, Dirk. Let's go. Bring it home today, Dirk. Go Rovers!
See you, Pete. That's Pete live in the middle of Philadelphia, freezing his nuts off as, of course, Christmas fever comes to town. I do like a good Christmas market. There was one up in Mifflin Town or something that we used to go to. I've got to find one down here now in deepest, darkest Georgia in the jungle. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But anyway, we're going to tap out here, guys. We're going to tap out. Thanks for you guys, the small dedicated following here for the pregame show. But we're going to be live with the watch along in about 15-20 minutes time. So be there as we look forward to watching Rovers. Hopefully, get something out of the game against Stoke City. It's going to be tough, of course, airtight at the back. But can Rovers, with their free-scoring dynamo captain in the moment, Sam Smolch, break them down? We'll have a little look, of course, all that later on. But until then, troops, we are going to say goodbye. If I can figure this all out. Here we go. I'll tell you. Until then, I'll see you soon. Thanks for being with us. We're out.